All right. Welcome again to the new of my podcast. Let me just put this warning out there because this segment is about Real Madrid, all right, and it's about my frustration, and I do believe, like so many other fans, okay. But if you're one of those fans out there who belong to any of the fraction, whether it's the Vini, is the Mbappe, is the Adagule or the Jude, then this episode is completely not for you because this is really for those fans that care about the team and the success of the team rather than celebrating the success of these individual players. And I'm gonna get right to it. Okay, I asked the question earlier whether we have celebrated these players more than we should have, and I think that answer is yes. Okay, first of all, we appreciate what they have done. Let me just get it out of the way. But what I think we have lost is actually the Madrid DNA, not just as players, but even as fans. Okay, now we are settling. We are settling. We never used to, settle for performances here and there. All right. If you are a legit superstar, you are playing for Real Madrid. We expect you to perform on a regular basis. I don't think we have that expectation right now for so many of our players. All right. Few couple of good performances we are taking to social media and we are causing noise. All right. We are comparing them already to Zizou, to Nazario de Lima, and whatnot. And this is the beginning of the problem that we have seen, just multiplying exponentially. I mean, that is actually what the problem is. Now, what is this Madrid DNA? All right. For us, it is always about the next trophy. I mean, as soon as we win, it is about the next one. Classic example, Rafael Varane. And I love the guy, right? I appreciate his sacrifices, his performances, and everything. While he was playing, while he was wearing that jersey, he gave us everything he could. When he could no longer carry the DNA in him, he says, Real Madrid fans, as soon as they win this trophy, it is already about the next. He said that when he moved to Manchester United. We had just won the 13th Champions League and we were already talking about the 14th, right? That is in the DNA. That is why the history of this club is at that level. Now, with so many of these players, they are bragging about this history. Yes, they have contributed, but then they feel like the mission is finished. All right. All they can do now is to throw the history of the club in the face of opponents and expect them to bow. But that is not the case. You don't just flash the badge and you expect opponents to be like, sorry about that. All right. That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The jersey gives you the platform. That is what it does. It is the effort that gives you the right to call yourself a Madridista, even as a player. That is what it is. And what we have been seeing, except if you're a Real Madrid fan out there and you just don't want to be honest, what we have been seeing is complete lack of effort and sacrifice. And that is disgraceful. It does not embody the Madrid DNA by any stretch of our imagination as we know it. All right, and I'm gonna give you a couple examples again. 2001. All right, Zidane the volley against Bayer Leverkusen. Remember, Caesar got injured. Casillas came on. He made all those saves. All right, he was actually a big part of the reason why we won that final. But guess what? He had to put up those saves so many times, consistently for so many years before he was called Saint Ika. Yes. All right. That is the Real Madrid that we know. Raul Gonzalez, a man that embodied nothing but perpetual effort to make sure he gets to the next goal. And from Gonzalez to Cristiano Ronaldo, we saw that. Even prior to that, the history that we read from Alfredo Di Stefano and guys like Puskas, We saw that level of effort all the way. That is the history we're bragging about. Remontada. A time that I saw these players misused last season against Arsenal. Oh, 90 minutes is long at the Santiago Bernabeu, posting here and there all over social media and could not back it up. The Madrid DNA is not about talks. It's about works. It's about backing it up. All right? It is about accomplishing the improbable task. Not by word of mouth, but by sweat and blood if it takes that. That is the Madrid DNA. But we don't see that anymore. Yes, we put it off 2021, 2022. We did. You know why we did? Because other people did it in the past. All right. So we believe. But you guys want to be the generation that is just going to lower that standard. That is what I'm saying. 2013-14, Sergio Ramos. El Capitano. Because he believed in a character of never say die. That is the DNA. He leveled things up, and then we came and won that final 4-1. We saw what Karim Benzema did 2021, 2022. All those big time goals. Yes, Vini, Rodrigo, you guys contributed. Thank you. But you know what? Benz was there, Modric was there, Cruz was there, Carvalho was there. They were playing. All right. They understood the DNA. Now that these guys are leaving, you guys are acting like you are just newbies. All right. There is a responsibility upon your shoulders to carry that DNA. Talent is not always enough to bail you out, but effort does. That is not what we're seeing. That is my frustration. You guys went to Anfield. You, Vini, as well as Kylian Mbappe. We're supposed to be beating our chest about we have two of the best players, all right, in the world in our attack. And that is how you show up. And then again today against Rayo, that is how you showed up. It is getting ridiculous. And I guarantee you, no one is afraid because it's all talk. You guys take to social media, talk. You go on the field, you wave your hands, especially Vini Mbappe. Wave your hands, complaining, calling for the whistle. Really? Really? We have seen players not with enormous talent. They have played for Real Madrid because they have the effort. Michel Salgado was not the best right back in the world. Neither Alvaro Abaloa. We saw Pavon, Ivan Elguera. We saw those guys. Even Raul Bravo, as bad as he was in terms of talent, or as average as he was, all right? But he was giving that fight. Even Thomas Gravesen was giving that fight. Guys used to bleed for this jersey. That is the reason why this jersey is valuable. That is the reason why. But you guys are putting on this jersey and expect miracle, expect wonders. Like I said, this jersey only gives you the platform. It is the effort, it is the sacrifice, it is the resilience, the defiance, the never say die attitude is what makes you a Madridista. It is playing with that level of audacity. That is what we're talking about here. And not all these stupid flashes. And if you are Xabi Alonso, Uh, you were in a dressing room, okay, with top players. You have been, and I'm not just talking about Real Madrid, okay, I'm talking about Liverpool, all right, I'm talking about Bayern Munich. You have been in those dressing rooms with legit players, all right, legends of the game. You have been in there, you've been coached by a lot of great coaches. When Benitez was up in his game, Mourinho, Carlo, all right, I mean, can you go some balls and make some decisions? And I don't care who is coming out. If they're not playing well, well, so be it. All right. So be it. Gonzalo Garcia is not a better player than Kylian Mbappe. But we saw what he did at the Club World Cup. But it is unbearable to see 80 minutes of trash from someone like Kylian Mbappe. That is unbearable to witness. It's unbearable to see Vini playing 90 minutes of trash. All right. Uh, Again, for you, Jabi, I don't know. Like I said, you trying so hard to be this Einstein of football, overthinking every formation and selection. I just don't get it. In fact, again, talking about the Madrid DNA, right? Like, we used to play with urgency when we are down. All right, like we just used to be very uncomfortable in our spirit, in ourselves, but not anymore. I mean, we could be, we were so passive, like nothing is at stake. The badge has become like a shield. Everybody's attacking us and we're doing this with the badge, we're doing this. Trying to protect ourselves. That is what we're doing with the badge. That badge supposed to be the sword. It's supposed to be the sword. That was supposed to be the thing we put forward and say, we are Real Madrid, we are coming. Los Vikingos. And like I said, for you guys that are, with in the Vini camp or whatnot, I don't care. We can sell him. All right. We can sell anyone. If you're wearing that jersey and you're not willing to put the effort, you don't want to carry the Madrid DNA in you and fight, get out. Just get out. Just get out. We don't care. How do you think there are players that won 4, 5, 6 Champions League? How? They fought. It wasn't just about talent.